very, very many measures, Honorable Speaker, so that we can be able to live within our means, Honorable Speaker. In fact, even on personal life, members and even people in public service have been accused of living large. It's now about time that even as we talk about the national budget cuts, we also talk on budget cuts on even our personal homes and even our, way of life in terms of operations, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the challenge this country has had, though, is allowing ministries and departments to put in some very useless or avoidable things that can be avoided in the budget. And when I was watching yesterday's debate by the economic team on one of the mainstream media, Honorable Speaker, one person raised a very, very important issue, that you get a ministry or an office of government purchasing a bottle of water at a cost of 800 shillings, Honorable Speaker. And those are some of the questions that people are raising out there. That how is it that we sometimes want to talk about the budget cuts, or rather raising funds, when some people live large within the offices? These budget cuts are very sensitive in this particular issue, in this particular season, Honorable Speaker. When you were listening to the different departmental committees or different departmental bodies in government and ministries, you would see, looking at the faces of the people presenting and seeking to have their budget cut reinstated, you would wonder, and we were tempted to ask them, where do you want government to raise money from? Because it is in this House, Honorable Speaker, that we pushed for, we had differences in regard to pushing for the finance bill. We heard what the public said about the finance bill, that was to raise a certain amount of money. And this had to go down and flow down to the budget cuts. But you will get some departments, Honorable Speaker, approaching us as they were when they appeared before different committees, and I'm sure even the chair budget can confirm. You saw people appearing there with very weak faces saying, how do you want us to operate? It is now about time that within this year, we cut everything, like what the budget has, the appropriation committee has done. It wasn't very easy, I know, because you look at this, you realize it's important. You look at another vote, you realize it's also very important. Looking at the recruitment of the JSS teachers, looking at the way our police officers, Honorable Speaker, were getting overwhelmed by the protesters the other day, that really displayed the fact that maybe we needed some more manpower in as much as such is concerned in that security sector. Looking at the challenges in schools, Honorable Speaker, where we need new classrooms in JSS. And I really think the budget committee has also some element of explanation to make on the budget cuts on education, because I think 12 billion, or rather 10 billion, is a little too high in terms of cut. Maybe we ought to have, challenged one area of cuts and put more need on education because of the need that is required on the school. So, Honorable Speaker, these challenging times requires that people tighten their belts, because it is not easy to live normally in abnormal times. Even in this House, Honorable Speaker, there are things that will be affected. We are not going to have foreign travels as much. Our staff members that had to, they needed a bit of some pay rise will also be affected. And this must go out in the public so that people get to know that members of parliament are also affected, because there is a perception out there that members of parliament live large and you need to cut their salaries. Please confirm to them that we are now also affected. It is not only the members of the public or of the other ministries that have been affected. Even members of parliament have been affected, from their staffing to their operations, and we have accepted.
Your two colleagues.